Alright, so I am starting this episode off with a bit of shoulder press going to my shoulder and try day. Now, I'm going to try and do this video with a slightly different format and just sort of voiceover. I've got about 19 minutes to talk through what I'm doing, but basically my shoulder day, accessory day we'll call it, is composed of shoulder exercises, tricep exercises, and everything that is done in this session has to be executed to the finest standard. I want all these reps to look perfect, basically. Paused, all the weights to be moved with intent, and I feel like I do a good job of that throughout this session. Probably one of my best sessions I've had in a while in terms of execution. Which is funny because you'll see the second half of the video is me deadlift and back session where my execution wasn't quite as good just because I was rushing, I had to be somewhere. Yeah, moving on to barbell press. This is the same, more high rep stuff. Not sure if this is a PB. It's definitely getting close to PB. We're doing 62.5. I believe I was doing 35 kilo dumbbells in the past. But 62.5 for 10, 3 sets. Like, damn, I'm super happy with this. As you can see, paused and then moving with intent. Essentially, what I'm doing by pausing these and moving with intent and explosiveness is I'm building as much carryover to my squat, bench, deadlift. Yeah, the main 3 lifts. I think of this as I am moving very similar movement patterns with my arms and training my triceps, but this is essentially a tricep day. I do quite a lot of abs work as well. I feel it's better to just move it all into a condensed, focused day for my upper body. Whereas my other upper body split consists of, my bench and chest. This one's shoulders and triceps and abs, which is good. I cover all the bases. There's really nothing I can do to complain about that, and really happy with it. These tricep accessories, this tricep pushdown, is really pinnacle and one of the cornerstones of my program. I pause at the top with tension and explode. Eccentrics controlled, I'm pausing at the top and exploding, and I'm using fat grips. The reason I use fat grips is because I don't want my forearms to be activated. I want all this to be going through the elbow and tricep, which, as you can see, it is. Like, these are tough. But God, I enjoy these. These are definitely my favorite exercise. Everyone in the gym has started doing these after I started doing them because they really are that good. All it takes is to once and realize how much carryover it has. You're leaving nothing on the table when it comes to doing this this accessory, and I think that is really how it should be, especially with tricep work. Pushing it. Triceps are half your bench, so you're doing it properly. Yeah, it's good. Bit sore because my tendons are flipped. Lateral raises the next movement here. Yeah, with these I am looking at as much control as possible. Concentric and eccentric. I don't tend to go crazy on these. My shoulders sometimes like these, depending on how much load I've had on them throughout the week, typically. And this week, yeah, it was we'll say it was a heavy week for my shoulders. I've still got another week before a deload, but let's just say focusing on these movements here. I widen up my base, make sure I'm getting as much stability as possible, so I can focus it right through the delts. And then I'm just singling out the last reps here. Slight pause at the bottom, reset the form, making sure we're getting every last bit of energy out of the shoulders. Eking it for all it's worth. And last one, big push. Not even the last one, sugar. One more. But as you can see, same, if not more control on that last rep. And now overhead triceps. This is also an amazing exercise. Really getting the stretch at the bottom. I'm stretching, explode and pull apart. I see a lot of people blast these overhead triceps without doing them properly, right? If you're doing this overhead tricep and you want the best development, your full range is getting that really deep stretch at the bottom and pulling apart at the top. If you're not doing that, you're not actually training in full range. It might feel like you're training in full range, but you're not, and you're actually not training the correct tricep head that you want to do. You learn this if you look at bodybuilders, you know, the guys that are on building these tricep heads up, you'll know, like, you can see better in the perspective where I'm really getting the stretch and then pulling apart at the top. It's good, nice and, you know, steady pace. The reps are really emphasizing the pull apart at the top, pausing it, and that's failure just about there. I think that was the 9th rep where I still have one more to go. Not a chance, you know, the lot. But these are execution. As you can see, I am at an angle that is, you know, straight on from the... I'm high up, I'm arching my back a bit, I'm using my legs to get a good stretch and pulling it back. And it's giving me a lot of stability, allowing me to drive through my delts perfectly and get a good contraction. As I say, that's the important thing, especially with rear delts, such a small muscle. It's important that we're stretching and doing it effectively. Ab rollouts, super good exercise, underrated. Basically, the #1 tool for building up core strength, if you ask me. I do these with fat grips now, just to take a little bit of strain off the forearm. But yeah, nice and slow. Moving it down and up. Pausing at the bottom. Slow down. Pause at the bottom and explode. And that's basically like the whole theme for my exercise is down and explode. Pause, explode. And that's my theme. I really stand by, you know, that controlled, explosive, you know, much tension through the exercise. For me, that's where I really drive and get the most results. It's also how I want my clients to execute. Harder to obviously tell people to execute than, you know, make the execution yourself. Love the exercise. All these I did 3 times. I have just filmed 2 because if I didn't, this video would be, you know, half an hour to long. And on this set here, I'm doing thumbs over. So basically, I'm balancing on top of the ab wheel here. Just balancing on the ab wheel and using all my muscles to try and finish it. But yeah, really slow, pausing and exploding. As I say, I always get DOMs after doing these. There's not been any day, I don't think, where I've not had DOMs after doing this, especially post-comp. Like the last 3 weeks, every time I've done these sessions, it's been brutal. It's been brutal. I've had deep DOMs. Underrated. If you're not doing any ab work in your program, try implementing some. Won't hurt. Obviously, build up work capacity. Don't end yourself. Now I'm doing some pike. What are they called? Leg raises, ab raises, hanging knee raises. That's the one. And I'm just lifting them up here. I would do this hanging from a rack. The only thing is, my pec doesn't like that, so I'm not doing that. So, as I say, pointing my toes, finishing it. It's tough. You know, we're making it as hard as possible for ourselves. But yeah, really slow. Good through the As I say, this will also give me a very deep. This is a hard exercise. I always get deep DOMs after these. But pinnacle of the program, these two ab exercises, the pinnacle of the program. I was at one point doing 45-degree reverse planks, but they're out. And on to the second day of the program, or second day of the video, sorry, deadlifts. So I'm just starting out with 70 kgs, not doing anything crazy, building it up, just getting warmed up. I always like to take 70 really slow, just feel out my grip, make sure everything's clicking.
Of course. Gyatosaurus Rex.
Calling Andy a Gyatosaurus Rex because he's just standing there doing his RDLs in front of my camera. A little funny joke between two of us there. But yeah, that was 120 up to 170. I tend to jump up almost entirely in reds, depending on the last jump. If it's any more than 30 kilos, I'll do a halfway point. But yeah, that was 170, 220. You know, nothing crazy. 220. Stop there. Do a cluster. So step back for a second, get a deep breath, and go again. And that's that there. Boom. On to 240, just a single, as I say, the midway between 220 and 260. That's what I like to do, just to make sure my body's ready. Getting a bit hyped up for this top set because, goddamn, it's a match PB, so we had to make sure it counted. Going in for it. First rep's hard, staying with that's tough. But yeah, cluster, you know, big breath. Two clusters have comp specificity. Mainly because I find it hard to brace in the bottom of the movement. This is good as well because fatigue sets in, so you get a more true estimate of your 1RM depending on how many extra reps you could do at the end. I set this as 1 RIR, so hopefully, you know, I've got a big to South Africa. And the last rep, slow, but finished it, solid lockout, and that was it. Backdowns, 235. Doing these strapped mainly because I finished that cluster with hook grip. To say making it a PB because I've never done a load like that with hook grip. Did 250 last week. But yeah, never a load like that. Set of backdowns, just a double, sorry, 2 triples with a 235 kilo. But I was really happy with that deadlift top set. 260 for 3 is a matched all-time PB because I did it with straps, but that was again cluster and hook grip, so much better. So in the program I had bent over rows at 115, 3 sets of 8. I have been doing these with dumbbells lately, been enjoying it, and we don't have an in-between weight, so I basically did 60 kilos each arm or 120 kilo. I'm really enjoying these, they're unreal. They've been getting my bicep vein popping a bit as well, which, you know, who's going to complain about that? It's been so good. I've got a spreadsheet average of my weight of under 104, which is sick. It's like 103.99 or something, which is, you know, probably the best weight I've had into a competition. 10 weeks out from South Africa and we're, you know, in a good spot. So this is my last rows. Getting a bit fatigued now. You can see it in my back. My back is, you know, fatigued. I'm trying to get these done. Lengthened partials there to finish it. Dropping them on the floor. And pull downs. Back development is king. So we're making sure these are really good reps, working in the full range. This is my first set. Yeah, just try to make every rep almost look identical, and in my opinion it kind of did. As you can see here, Just really trying to focus on the stretch at the top, getting all the way upright, then initiating the lats on the pull. Pulling through the elbows is a cue that I always like to use, or I can never finish a rep and I end up just having a big bicep pump. And the last set, way more controlled to just finish it off. Really controlled. I think I even went down a weight for this set, just to have a little bit of extra pause in and more intent. Yeah, there we go. I can really see him trying hard on this set. Yes. And one more. I'm really going with a 10 on that one. Boom. Seated cables. Possibly the hardest exercise in the program. The reason for that, the reason I say that is, look at the execution of these. I am going into a full lengthened position and pulling back. This is a super good way of making sure there's nothing left on the table. Getting a little bit of extra lumbar development, back development. Executing these is crucial. You know, stretching into them, pulling them to the and building up the back. I did these for 3 sets of 10. All my accessories being quite heavy, all of them being in the 8 to 10 range. God, like these are the staple. I think I've been running these for years now. Well, me and my coach have been running this for years. You know, the seated cable and the lat and a staple. Now this was the last set and best set in terms of execution. Look how tight I get at the back there. Oh, good. It's so good. It's textbook rowing here. I'm using that whole back. No biceps, pulling it down through the hip. Yes. Super happy with how these turned out. Grand. And the lat pullover. Now I'm too big for the lat pullover / too immobile. So I hold a little wooden stick just to finish these. I've only recorded one set, mainly because the first set I was just getting a warm up and playing around with it. But yeah, lat pullover, Dorian Yates style, nice and swole. But yeah, these will be something to push in the future. My body's still getting used to them, so I probably will go up in weight at some point. But yeah, that was the end of the video. Part 2 finished, and 3 is going to be coming soon. I'm benching tomorrow, baby. Let's go.